Welcome to the Golden Age podcast. We firmly believe that in spite of all the chaos and confusion in this world, there is actually a bright future, a golden age ahead of us. And that there are many inspired individuals that are already working with all of their heart to co-create this new world together. And we want to invite those inspired individuals and interview them here on the Golden Age podcast to have a living example of what it means to live from our heart and to contribute to the building of a new world. And with this, I'm very happy to have here with me today my friend Marina Lobamudra, who's also the manager of MyPalmLeaf Russia, but also a very skilled and experienced astrologer who has spent more than 7 years in India studying many of these ancient Vedic sciences, working as a translator for many spiritual masters and guiding pilgrimages to the sacred sites of India. And I was lucky last year to spend nearly 2 months with you, Marina, in India. And we went on some pilgrimages together, and I know from a first-hand experience that this is a very powerful, transformative experience to go on a pilgrimage and to go on a pilgrimage with you especially. So I'm very happy to have you here with me today. Welcome, Marina. And
Namaste, everyone. Namaste, dear Stefan. Thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction. And I'm very happy to be today here with you and to share my knowledge, my experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I know you're actually in India right now, in a place called Rishikesh that I've also visited many years ago, which is a very powerful place in itself. And I'm curious, like, what are you doing in Rishikesh? What are you doing in India?
Yes, right. I'm in Rishikesh right now, and this is very beautiful city, which is can be translated like place of wishes, and also it is the world capital of yoga. So many people, spiritual seekers who are interested in yoga, meditation, Vedanta, who want to know more about spirituality and their true self are coming here to Rishikesh. This place of special power because it is surrounded by Himalayas, and beautiful Mother Ganga is also flowing here. And Mother Ganga is considered to be a sacred river which purifies all our karmas and also which gives liberation to us. It's very important spiritual and historical place. Many yogis attained here liberation, and also very great sage Vasishtha was living here. Here is also his cave. You can go there and meditate. So there are very many places where you can do your own practices and to gain some experiences. I visit Rishikesh also since quite a few years. And first of all, my Guruji, my master is here, and I'm practicing with him meditation, and we're having satsang, discussing different spiritual topics. I'm very blessed to have this opportunity and to spend time with realized master. And also I'm part of very interesting project. Together with the Russian team, we organize, and I'm also translating courses in yoga, sometimes also astrology for Russian seekers who are coming here and who want to become yoga teachers or who want to gain more experience of Indian philosophy, Indian culture, astrology, meditation, and so on. So I feel also very happy and blessed to be part of this work.
Beautiful. It makes me want to go to India right away. Thank you.
Yes.
And you mentioned that the clearing of karma, which I know is also a very big aspect of your work of astrology and also the pilgrimages in themselves. Maybe can you tell us a little bit more about the concept of karma and why it is so important to like work and clear our karma?
So yeah, actually karma is a very difficult concept, and it is a very important concept in Hinduism. And this is also the reason why we are born here and why we go through different experiences. It can be painful, it can be pleasurable experiences, both. It depends whether we have positive or negative karmas. And karmas can be also flexible. It means like sometimes it is possible that we can overcome some karmas by clearing it, by doing some austerities. Sometimes karmas are very much fixed and it's very difficult to change it. But when we are sincerely seeking divine blessings, divine can change all kind of karmas. So I'm doing astrology, and our natal chart, our horoscope is showing very good which karmas we have from our past lives and how these karmas will be unfolded during our life journey. What are our weak points and what are our strong points? And there are also particular remedies which can help us to overcome these karmas. And if there is something not in our destiny, or we have many struggles in some particular areas like work, finance, family, health, so performing special rituals, we can overcome these karmas, and our life can go much smoother, and we can be much more happier. Also, in palm leaves, it is a very important part when palm leaf reader is mentioning about our doshas, karmic blockages, and also give special remedies how we can overcome them. So it is not like fatalistic, something fatalistic, but no, there are special treatments, karmic treatments, and this is the greatest part, because when we put efforts, we can really change our destiny.
So that's good news that we can actually influence and change our karma.
Yes.
But also to clarify, so karma, of course, on one hand is a concept, but it's actually a process that's happening in every single moment of our life, right?
Exactly, exactly.
We're always sitting in the outcome of our old karma. Everything that experience right now is the result of our karma. And at the same time,
Yes.
each moment we are creating the new karma that creates our future.
Exactly.
And sometimes when I think about it, I realize that because I'm sitting in the karma all the time and it's so obvious that I can't see it.
Yes.
And it's especially in the painful moments of our life that we are being confronted with it, right? These are areas of our
Exactly.
life where things are not really flowing.
Yes.
And I think it gives a lot of hope to, on one hand, to understand that there's a cause for everything that happens in our life, and also that we can actively contribute it to changing the karmic conditionings of our life. And this is, of course, also the purpose of our leaf with the palm leaves. But as I understood, this is also the very essence of astrology, right? To
Yeah,
understand
exactly.
our karma and to
Exactly.
work on our karma.
Exactly. Yes.
Hmm. Please tell us a little bit more about the remedies that are applied both on the palm leaf readings but also in astrologies. How can the remedies affect our karma?
There are different types of remedies. The most effective remedies are considered to be different Vedic rituals, pujas and homas, fire rituals, which can be very helpful to overcome some karmic blockages, some negative energies which we have accumulated. And these rituals, they're helping us to restore our balance with nature. These pujas, homas can be performed by yourself and also by pandits, by Brahmins in India. And these rituals have they are very powerful. When you do it, you can really feel how environment is changing, how your mind is changing, how some blockages get released. Second very important remedy is mantras. Mantras are special sound vibrations, and chanting particular mantras is also very beneficial when we want to cure some karmic blockages. So, and we want to change this negative karmic energy which we have. We want to change with this positive vibration of mantra. And also, there are, how I mentioned, many remedies like wearing gemstones, fasting on particular days, helping particular people, doing particular actions, and so on. But also one important remedy is to visit special temples, because every temple is connected to different deities, God, and all temples, they were built following special rules and regulations. And these temples are like vortex of energy. When you come to these temples, maybe you even don't realize the history of this temple, and uh, you don't know anything about this temple, but automatically this energy is working on your energy field and is changing you. That's why visiting temples and doing pilgrimages, it's like essential part of remedies. And in India, there are beautiful ancient temples dedicated to different aspects. And these temples are very powerful when we want to overcome some karmic blockages.
Interesting. So I realized that all of these remedies you mentioned, they are basically tools to work with energy, right?
Yeah, exactly, yes.
They're, can you describe them as different energetic frequencies that you can invite into your system and into your life?
Exactly, yes, because karmas are also some energies which are in our field. It can be positive energies which attract positive experience. It can be negative energies which attract negative experiences. So like that.
Mm-hmm. And of course, for our mind, it's easier to think in positive and negative energies, but ultimately it's very complex, right? There are so many different frequencies. And maybe sometimes what is
Yeah,
negative for one person might actually be positive for another person. So,
exactly.
but of course, for our mind, it's easier if we think in like good and bad. So, but I think it's very important to mention that this is a very, very, very complex like reality process, and that
Yes,
even when we have a certain intuition for the energetic aspect of reality, most of us still only understand the very surface.
exactly. And it is told that only enlightened masters, they can see all these reasons, all these causes, so they can understand the complexity of karmas. And we can't see this, but at least we can try. We can
Yes.
put some efforts and it will be very helpful.
And astrology is like a system that can help us to understand and decipher these dimensions of karma. Is this right? To read.
Sorry, Ken?
Like astrology is like a system that helps us to read and understand these dimensions of karmas. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. Uh, we can check our birth chart and we can understand many things about our birth, about our pending karmas. And also in astrology, we have very beautiful systems of transits and periods of planets, like Vimshatari Dasha, for example. It shows when different karmas will be ready to be ripe. Like for example, when the proper time comes for marriage, or when the proper time comes that we can find proper job, when our financial status will be better. But sometimes also it can show when it is time to experience not such positive fruits of our karma. For example, sadisati, when Saturn is influencing our moon, or periods of Rahu, Ketu, Mars, and so on. And when we know this, which energies are going to enter our life, which energies are influencing us, we can also find remedies, how we can live this period more in harmony with whatever is going to happen.
And you mentioned the visits to the temples, that they can be a very powerful remedy in themselves, because these temples are basically energetic vortexes, right? You described them, that have a very powerful impact on, like influence on our energetic system.
Yes, exactly.
So the actual purpose of the pilgrimages is not just to see these beautiful historical places, but there is actually a deeper purpose to clear our karma, and by doing so, to make space inside of ourselves for the new, the highest potential of ourselves to unfold. Is that a good description of the purpose of a pilgrimage?
Karmas of our impurities, so we can connect more with our divine light inside us and also with our true nature. And it is very helpful. It's helpful because our life can go much more smoother when we are in connection with our true self, with this divine light inside us. We are connected to our intuition, and we take correct decisions rather than when we take decisions based on our mind, which make us take wrong decisions. And I also wanted to mention that in India, especially in Tamil Nadu, it is you can find very interesting temples. Like in astrology, we have 9 planets, Navagrahas, which are kind of controlling our destiny and controlling our mind. And in Tamil Nadu, there are all 9 temples. Each temple is dedicated to a particular Graha planet. And you can visit all these 9 temples. They are not far from each other. And you can, in this way, you can harmonize all planetary energies and also get blessings from these planetary deities. Because in India, Grahas, planets, they are considered to be deities, devatas. And in every temple, you can feel very different energies connected to particular grahas. In every temple, you can do also rituals like pujas, archana, and so on, with the help of priests, which will be also very helpful for clearing out your karma. And it's something really unique, because nothing like that, you can't find anything like that in the whole world. But in India, there are such special temples, very ancient.
And the priests in India, I mean, of course, not all of them, but especially those in the Navagraha temples, they're actually very much trained in these energetic arts, right, of rituals and
Yes.
So these rituals are not just blind rituals of devotion. I mean, there's a lot of devotion, but there's like a very profound energetic science behind that knows exactly through which energy, through which ritual, which karmic effect can be brought into someone's life. Is that the
Right, yes. It was also very interesting to observe how particular energy is affecting priests, because priests are also get influence of this energy. And it's very interesting experience. I visited these Navagraha temples already 5-6 times, and every time you can feel much more deeper how special every temple is.
Yes, I was lucky to go on this pilgrimage with you last year, and it's
Yes,
definitely my experience as well. That
yes,
every temple has a
exactly.
very different energy.
Very different. Yes, very different.
And right now we're in the period of Kali Yuga, right? The dark age according to the Vedic time cycles. And please tell us a little bit about how karma in general affects also the consciousness of humanity as a whole, and how we are co-creating this world, and why the clearing of karma is so important, that we will transition from these dark ages into a new golden age of consciousness.
Yeah, that's very important question. And so we are very much influenced by different karmas, and it is quite difficult to really realize who we are, that our true self, because karma, it creates different impurities in our mind, and we act in particular ways. And karma also makes us to be bound by our ego personality. And when we clear these karmas, when we overcome these karmas, it is like a dirty mirror which is getting cleaned, and we can see our true reflection, our true nature, and we see this divine light in us. In India, I really like this tradition when we tell to each other namaste. And namaste actually means divine light in me is respecting divine light in you. So it's really beautiful.
Yes.
And when we clear these karmas, when we can see in reflection our true nature, our divine light, so we will live our life in very different way. And I didn't mention yet that my journey to India started from Auroville, very beautiful experience. And this is a city of future. And I like the idea which was behind this city. It is human unity and unity in diversity. When we understand our true nature, we can go beyond different identifications. We can go beyond religions, nationalities, politics, culture, and so on. And we can connect on really deeper level, beyond all these limitations, which create a lot of conflicts in the world. So I see that clearing our karma is really helpful on this journey towards connecting to our true self and going beyond limitations.
It is true that Auroville is really a great embodiment of this vision of the new world.
Yes.
So, for those who don't know, it's a little city, a community in the south of India that has place for many thousand people, right? It's quite a big place. I was very impressed
Yes.
how spacious it was. That was created by Sri Aurobindo and the mother, and where people from all around the world were co-creating this city that was dedicated to what is it dedicated to actually? To the to the new world, right?
Yeah, it is dedicated to human unity.
Human unity. Yes.
Yes.
So what do you think once we clean this mirror and we see ourselves as who we are, not only individually but also as humanity as a whole, how this world will be different than it is now?
I think our world can be a very beautiful place, really amazing place. And I'm very much inspired by principles in Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. And there are particular yamas, niyamas, principles, moral values, how we can live our life based on these yogic principles. So, and I think then we can apply these principles to our life, and we can follow, for example, starting with ahimsa, which is a very big thing, non-violence, non-violence in our words, action, thoughts. So, and if we are non-violent towards ourselves, we are non-violent also towards others, towards nature. So it is already a very huge thing, even if you practice only first value of Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So Auroville tries to implement these principles, and already it's very beautiful to observe how in quite small town, people of more than 45 nationalities are living harmoniously in peace and trying to create beautiful projects where every person can unfold his human potential. And also small children are learning together, and they don't see any national, religious, cultural differences. Everybody is seeing like human unity. So I think life can be really beautiful here if we try to implement at least small steps.
Yes. And I also think this will naturally happen, right? Once these layers of karma and confusion fall away, we will naturally act differently as individuals. We will create totally new systems of education, healthcare, politics. Every aspect of life is going to be different, basically.
Exactly, exactly. But as many teachers tell that first we shall start with our inner self. Yeah,
Yes.
this is the first step. And only when we are connected with our true self, then we can manifest this beautiful life outside. And I really like this idea to create divine life on earth. And I hope that slowly, slowly we are moving towards this beautiful idea.
Very much. I hope and I have deep trust in that actually.
Yes.
And it also gives me so much trust and confidence to know that there are actually so many people out there who are already working on co-creating this new world in so many different creative, innovative ways. Like you do,
Yes.
for example, with You work with astrology, with the pilgrimages, with the palm leaves. You know, what beautiful, powerful tools actually that we can really work on the very foundation of our life. And I find this so important. Like, for example, it's very important that we have good hospitals when we get sick. But
Yes,
it's even more important to understand karma and to work on our karma that we don't get sick in the first place.
right, right.
And I know for many people it's difficult to understand this realm, this dimension of life, because it's not something we can see. But actually, when we start looking, we understand that it's actually there in every moment of our life.
Yes,
Right here as we are speaking. Like karma is
yes. Yeah,
yeah,
I also wanted to mention that karma, one of the meaning is action. So
right.
we create new karmas with our thoughts, even with our thoughts, emotions, with every our action, we create new karmas. And also very beautiful idea is how we can get rid of karma actually. When we don't identify ourselves with the concept of doer, that I'm doing something here. When we connect with our true self, we realize that only divine is doing everything here, and we are just instrument of divine. And when we aligned with this divine, with higher intelligence, we are performing very beautiful actions, and we are not attached to results of these actions. It is called like karma yoga. It was also very beautiful learning from Orville, because people are practicing karma yoga there. So when every person will realize that it is not me who is doing something here, but it is divine which is doing through me something here, then we can also live very differently and very beautifully.
Beautiful. Yes, and karma yoga can express itself in many different ways, right? Sometimes it's good we do karma yoga of something we don't like. Sweeping, washing the dishes, and so forth. But karma yoga can also be something very creative. Like for me, doing this podcast is karma yoga. I love what
Yes,
I'm doing,
yes,
but I just love it for the love of doing it.
exactly. And also I wanted to add that sometimes when we think it is so difficult to change the world because world is so huge and I am so small, but we can contribute even small things. Even if, for example, one person will listen to this podcast and something will shift in his mind, it is already a big step. So we can do something really small and it will contribute to something big in future.
Very much, yes. At this place, I also want to mention a very easy and free opportunity for people to do a very tiny work on their karma. Actually, on our website, mypalmleaf.com, and we're going to put a link here, we offer a service that we connect people with a Tibetan monastery. It's called Kopan in Nepal. And people can send a prayer request. They can ask, can you please pray for me? Or can you please pray for this person for this and this reason? And then we pass on this request to the monastery. And the monks and nuns in this monastery, who are doing many prayers every morning, they're going to include these prayers in their morning practice. So if you want to have a very easy and free way to have a little energetic karmic impact on your life, then you can just go to our website and sign up. It's free, and it's our way of doing karma yoga.
Yeah,
And to bring some blessing into your life or for someone else, to bring this blessing into someone else's life.
yeah, that's really beautiful.
As a direct, easy opportunity.
Yes, yes.
And Marina, so you're working not only as an astrologer and guiding pilgrimages as translator, you do so many creative things, but you're also the manager of MyPalmLeaf Russia, and you help people to find their palm leaf. So at this place, please also briefly explain us what's the karmic impact of the palm leaf reading? How can the palm leaf reading help to clean karma as well?
Yeah, PalmLeaf reading is very powerful tool to clean our karmas. First of all, because in PalmLeaf it is mentioned which particular doshas, karmic blockages you have, how it is influencing your life in particular areas, and how you can overcome them. So rishis were prescribing very particular remedies which you can do by yourself. And it is really, really changing your life. I experienced it by myself, and other people also had same experience. Also, when you're reading palm leaves, when you found your palm leaf, it is such a beautiful moment when you realize that you are not limited only with this life, with this body, with this personality, but there is something much, much beyond this, that you are like limitless Atma soul, which is taking different roles. And this is very beautiful moment when you connect with wisdom, this dimension of wishes, and you feel how you are getting their blessings. You can see your life from different perspective, like unlimited soul, which has huge potential. In palm leaf, it is mentioned about your potential, about your soul journey. Often it happens that we have different desires based on our ego, on our mind, which is not aligned with our soul desires. And palm leaf helps you to remember about our soul journey and what our soul wanted to fulfill in this life. So it's really helpful to realign with your true path of dharma, and follow this way. It is not only about getting information predictions, which is also important, but which can be changeable when we work with our karmas. But it is also about energetical effect. Some energetical shift is happening inside you, and you just can't live like you lived before, because you understand that life is so beautiful, so multidimensional, and there are always these beautiful beings, rishis, gods, angels, and so on, who are there and who are ready to help us whenever we need it. We just need to connect with them.
Yes. And for those who don't know, so just want to say again, the rishis, they're the timeless masters who wrote the palm leaves, who walked on this planet many thousands of years ago, but who are actually energetically very much present right here, right now, supporting humanity, right? Is that a good description of the rishis?
Stefan, I also wanted to mention one interesting fact,
Yes.
that my spiritual name is Lopamudra, and it was Rishi Agastya's wife. So
True.
this connection with palm leaves was already there, even before I knew about palm leaves.
Yes. And the Rishi Agastya was one of the main rishis who wrote the palm leaves, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So you definitely have a strong connection with him.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to tell that rishis are always there with us in subtle forms. And when we have very strong wish to connect with them, they can even manifest in different forms, in form of a person, in form of an animal, insect, and so on. And they can give very important messages to us. It can be also in real life, can be also through dreams, but they are very real, and we can connect with them whenever we want.
I totally agree. And the blessings of the rishis and enlightened masters in general is also a very powerful way to transform karma, right?
Exactly, exactly. And enlightened masters, rishis, they can see our karmic conditions, and by their blessings, it is possible to overcome these conditions. Yeah, this is like a mystery of life, but there are many true stories when the blessings of masters could really transform a person's life, or sometimes they even can save person's life. It's something very, very deep if we have this trust.
Beautiful. Yes, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to do this work with the palm leaves, where we're on a daily level, we in service of the rishis, and we're consciously
Yes.
inviting their blessings, and I can totally feel this in my life as well. Beautiful. So thank you very much, Marina. And if someone would like to know more about your work, or maybe to have a reading with you as well, an astrological reading, or maybe even a palm leaf reading, or to go on a pilgrimage with you in India, how can they find you?
Yes, thank you so much, Stefan, and everyone. I will be very happy if you connect with me. And the best way to connect with me is through Instagram. I'm very active there, posting different stories from my pilgrimages, sacred places, different philosophical topics, and so on. So it is Lopamudra_108.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Marina.
Thank you so much, Stefan. It was pleasure, great pleasure for me to be here with you and to share with you and with all people who will listen to this podcast.
Thank you so much. I look forward to meet you again, probably in India or in another magic place in this world.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. Namaste to everyone and many greetings, many blessings from Himalayas and Mother Ganga.
Thank you.